family, it's Christmas Eve. I'm so excited. We got one more day to Christmas. And I got up early this morning to get in the kitchen so I could show you guys this cinnamon roll recipe that I've got. And it starts with a potato bread. And that potato bread is just so tender. We're going to turn it into a cinnamon roll this morning. And a make-ahead cinnamon roll, you could make it tonight and have it ready to serve in the morning. Now, some people have Christmas dinner, and that's fine if that's your tradition. But you can serve these as a dessert for sure. But we have Christmas breakfast. The kids come and spend the night. We wake up, we open up gifts, and Grammy has a good hot meal cooked for everybody. And we gather around the table and we give thanks to our Lord in heaven. And we eat way too much, but like I said, we don't talk about those things. Not on Christmas. Now, the day after Christmas, we're going to have to talk about the way that we've been eating lately. And we're going to have 'tis the season for running on treadmills. Opens up a whole new bracket. Alrighty, so here's what you're going to have. You do not have to use a mixer. You can do these by hand. It's just going to add to your kneading time whenever you have to start kneading and work those arms. And that way you're burning some calories and doing some wonderful things. I'm going to do some kneading too, but I'm going to start it in a mixer. So the first thing that's going to go in the mixer is going to be 1 stick of butter. 1 whole stick of butter, because they're going to be good. They're going to be delicious. So we're going to put 1 stick of butter in there, and I'm going to put you guys down so you can see what I'm doing. 1 stick of butter in there. Okay. Now, I'm using instant potatoes. You can use some leftover mashed potatoes for this. So we got a stick of butter in there. Now we'll show you. This is the perfect amount, and you can use the butter. You can use the plain, but don't use like garlic or anything like that. Unless you're making rolls and you want that garlic flavor in there, but you don't want it in cinnamon rolls. So, but that's one, and that is a 1.5 ounce thing. It makes a half a cup perfect, and that's what it calls for. So we're going to put that in there, and it calls for 1 egg. Alrighty. So let's put that 1 egg in there. We're done with that. So now we're just going to turn on the mixer. I'm going to pull this mixer back just a little bit so you guys can see. Okay, while this is going, I'm going to warm a little bit of milk up in the microwave so I can get my yeast activated, and I'll be right back. Okay? We're going to build some cinnamon rolls. Whoa, that's going to be delicious. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So what I have done is I have a whole cup of milk here that I warmed in the microwave. And not hot, just warm. And I put 2 packs of active yeast. Now, I have made this before with 1 pack, and I didn't get the rise that I wanted out of it. So I put 2 packs in this. I don't know the difference. I don't know if the potato's heavier or what. But this is, like I said, I have tweaked it. I'm going to put 1/3 cup of sugar in there. And I'm going to go ahead and put this little 1.5 teaspoons of salt down here, and I'm going to turn this back on and let that cream in there together. It calls for a little bit more salt, but it calls for 2 teaspoons, but I'm using salted butter, so I kind of, okay. Now, we have 1/4 cup of water that we're setting to the side so that when we start adding the flour, and it's 4.5 cups of plain flour. So, I will have the measurements down in the description, and this is going to be a little bit of a long video because making bread takes a little time. So I'm going to be going away, coming back, pal. And that's what I'm going to be doing. Alrighty, so I'm waiting for about 5 minutes on this yeast to come up and get frothy and become alive so it can make us some delicious bread. And I will be right back, okay? Alrighty. Okay, I'm back. And as you can see, let's see if I can turn you guys down. It's all nice and frothy. It's got that good yeasty smell. So I'm going to add it into here with my butter, my egg, and my salt that was in here. Well, I'm not going to turn it on and put it in there because I don't want to repaint my kitchen with this stuff. So let's put it in there. And it is so nice and frothy. And you might think that 2 packs of yeast is overkill for you, but for some reason, if I do this recipe with the potatoes, I just don't get the good rise. So we're going to turn this on low. I'm going to kind of let that butter and that yeast and milk kind of incorporate a little bit. Got my 1/4 teaspoon of water that we will be using later. And that's just if you need it, you know, as you're adding. But I have 4½ cups of flour right here. I'm going to be adding it in with a spoon. Slowly. So we don't look like we done had some kind of construction accident up in this kitchen. I don't want to have to clean this kitchen today if I don't have to. My little grandbabies will be here in a little while, my oldest daughter, and it's just going to be a happy day. Okay, so we're going to start adding this flour, a spoonful at a time. And I like this mixer I got, but I will have to take this apart and lift it up because for the way that they designed it, it has this little thing that sits in here and it never mixes down there. But if I take it off and I just hold it up for a second while it's on low, not high, because if it was on high, it's going to shoot that bowl across that living room, into that living room over there. We can't have that happen. So I have to keep it on low to do it. But we'll get it done. Okay. It's all about time. And you wait till that gets over here, then you're able to get that flour in there. See? And just dump it in there. I'm going to take it up just a little bit now that we've got some of the liquid incorporated with that flour. I don't want it too high because I want to be able to dump that flour in there because it will. I'll be looking like I got white powder all over my face, and you can call me George Washington because my hair will be like a powdered wig. All right. We're just going to keep adding. We're going to add a little bit of that water, and you can add water as you need it. I'm looking for a towel. There's a towel on my shoulder. Okay. So let's go ahead. Keep on adding that flour till you get it all added in there. Woo! Do you see that puff of smoke come out of there? That's what I'm talking about. We're going to need a little bit more water. We got to get all this flour in here. Now I'm going to get it on high. Because I wanted to clean the sides of that pan. Now let's turn it back down. I got just one more spoonful of flour to add in here. It looks like 2, but it's just because it's little. Okay, now we're going to put that over there. I'm working by the sink today, so it's all kind of neat how I can just take it, put all them dirty dishes right there in that sink. Let's get that raked off. Now, when you're doing this, you're going to mix it until your mixing bowl is clean. But I'm going to have to put mine on slow. I'm going to have to pop it off and lift it up so I can get down there to the bottom of that. And it's trying to get it all incorporated down there. And then once I get it, then I'm going to turn it up. Let it make it until it does. This will save some of our prep time later for kneading. Because I'm letting the mixer do some of the work. This mixer likes to hop around. And it upsets my dog. Okay, I think we're good. Man, it smells good. It starts smelling good immediately. As soon as you get that in there. And you see the dough hook's clean? So, now what I got to do is, I got to set up for kneading this. So I'll be right back. Okay, we're going to put us a little flour down here. I got that out. As you can see, the bowl is clean. And it's made a good dough already, but we're just going to work it just a little bit more. And I've got just a tiny bit of flour down here on my cabinet. On my counter, not my cabinet. And I know it looked like that mixer was going to take off and go. But I think that's good. Let's get it going. I think she's got a good thing going here. And we're going to put it in this grease pan here that I got. I'm going to roll her around. Put it in there. This dough was pretty forgiving. If I can make it, anybody can make it. So now I'm going to take it and put it in my oven with the light on for 1 hour. And so after 1 hour, we'll be back. Welcome back. Welcome back. We are on the other side of the kitchen this time. I'm trying to look at this camera lens more because I had somebody tell me I wasn't looking at the camera lens more, but I try to tell her if I look over her, I kind of look cross-eyed. But we're going to try. I love when you people give me comments. I don't mind them. I like the suggestions. So I'm going to, I need my towel. I don't know if you people saw when I was doing the dishes, but this was my drying towel. And I throwed it in the water trying to be all kind of cool for you guys. So I'm going to put a little bit of cinnamon. We're going to say we're going to do about a tablespoon of cinnamon. And we got a room temperature stick of butter, and it's salted. A half a cup of packed light brown sugar in there. You can use the dark, you can use the molasses, you can use whatever you want to. And then about a tablespoon of cinnamon. Because these are cinnamon rolls, so you want that cinnamon taste in there. And then you're just going to take your spatula and you're going to work that butter, that brown sugar, and that cinnamon together. And that's going to be your filling. 1 stick of butter, half a cup of brown sugar, your preference of what kind you use, and a tablespoon of cinnamon. I'm going to tell you something. That is smelling like cinnamon bun. I love cinnamon rolls, if you can't tell. You could do a cream cheese filling with this. You could take and, when you roll them out, do some dark chocolate in the middle. And you know I always say, use the boss. So you can do whatever you want to. But my family is used to having these homemade cinnamon rolls for breakfast. And I'm going to make a sugar glaze to go on the top of them. Powdered sugar and milk when they come out of the oven. And they love them. So we're just going to kind of get all that incorporated and mixed. And as you can tell, I got it all mixed. And our stuff is just about through rising. I thought I would just come back, and I'm going to use this wrapper to grease these. And we're going to take the majority of these and not let them do a second rise. We're going to put them in the refrigerator. And then tomorrow morning, when I'm about ready to serve these, I'll take them out about an hour and a half before and let them set out on the counter. And they'll do their second rise, and then they'll be ready to go into the oven. But we're going to steal one, and we're going to cook it. And we're going to try it, and we're going to see what it tastes like. Okay? Alrighty. As soon as I'm done with my hour rise, I got about 10 more minutes. Hey, we back. And this dough done rose, so I'm going to dump it out here. We shouldn't need any flour. We shouldn't need any flour whatsoever. So I'm not going to work it anymore because I don't want to lose that air. It doesn't need to be worked anymore. I'm going to take my rolling pin and I'm just going to kind of roll it out till we got a good square going. Lift it up and move it this way so I'm not rolling off the counter. Don't want to lose that good dough. I wish you guys could smell this. It's nothing like the smell of delicious, delicious yeast bread. I'm telling you, I'm always talking about the smells and memories and all that stuff. Well, this is just like one of those delicious things. And I think that's good. I think I might roll it this way just a little bit. I don't want to press it completely down. We don't want to lose all of our good rise in there. And we're going to have to let these rise we're going to put this in here. That mixture that we just made up, it's going to go in here. It's 1 stick of butter, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and a half a cup of light brown sugar, but you can use whatever brown sugar you want. And then we're going to move that out of the way so you can see. And it spreads on there so nice. So nice. It's just delicious. And I just love it. And my kids love it. My grandkids are picky. If it didn't look like a cookie, if it didn't look like something they've had before, they're a little bit, it takes them a little while to try it. And it's been a year since I made these. These are my special thing that I make on Christmas. And I'm sure they will enjoy having it. And they will love it if they ever taste it, because it's just delicious. Let's make sure we get that. We don't want to lose one little bit of that, okay? All right, so now we got it going. So we're going to start right here. And I'm going to roll it this way because I want to get more out of them. And I just start pinching. Just start rolling and pinching. Pulling back and rolling. I can already feel it trying to rise again. I'm telling you, you get a good rise with that 2 packs of that yeast. And you're just rolling and rolling. And you see I didn't have to use flour. Now you may have to. Yours may be wetter, just depending on where you're at. There we go. Now, I'm going to grab me a knife. And I'm going to cut. And some people may cut that end piece off and not use it. That's the ones we're going to use for testers today. We're going to put it over there. Then I'm going to cut them probably about a half a finger thick, because they are going to rise and they're going to get big. I want you to look at that, how pretty that is. We're going to put them in this pan over here. These are the ones that I'm not going to let rise again today. I'm going to wrap them. Put them in the refrigerator. In about an hour and a half before I'm ready to put them in the oven in the morning, I will take them out. But we're going to show you all the way, because I'm going to let a couple of them over there rise. And we're going to sample them today. I've got to show you how to do them all the way through. And tomorrow's Christmas, so put them in here. I mean, they look good. And it's something about that potato that just makes that bread so tender. Room for one more right there. They're going to rise a little bit, so you want to give them a little bit of room, okay? Tomorrow, those are going to rise tomorrow. These, I'm going to put into this pan. We're going to cover it back up, and we're going to put it back in the oven with the light on. Well, actually, I need to be preheating the oven, so let's don't put them back in the oven. I'm just going to set them on the side of my oven with my oven preheating, and that should do it. 20 more minutes. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I'm going to teach you how to make the glaze. So, I'm making glaze for 2. So, I'm just going to show you the consistency of it and what I do to it. And then you guys can kind of do the same thing. Because some things you do by looks. You don't do by measurement. And glaze is one of those things that I just do by looks. So let me reach in here and get me a bowl. Okay. I don't know why I'm putting my measuring thing back up. I'm just running around like a chicken with my head cut off this morning, I tell you. You guys think I got enough powdered sugar? They had a sale on it and I bought a whole lot of it. So, this is 1/4 of a cup. A heaping 1/4 of a cup of powdered sugar. I'm going to put you down, but I'm going to go get the milk, okay? Now let's put you down where you can see this. See, it's a lot of steps to doing this. That's why I said it's going to be a very intense, not intense. What kind of video am I making where it's intense? Thorough. Long. I work at a library and I can't even think of the words. Okay, So I got a little bit too much milk in there because that's just a little bit too runny. So we're going to put just a little bit more powdered sugar in there. Not another fourth, but just a sprinkle. And you're going to do that till you get the consistency of a good glaze. Because you want it to stick. You don't want it to run off. And you're going to put it on there when they're warm. So it has to be thick. You know what? I think I'm going to put another one in there. Let's just go ahead and add the rest of that. Like I said, when I make it, I always make this by the way it feels when I'm mixing it, the way it looks. And I use a whisk because powdered sugar likes to knot up on you. And I think that's pretty good. I might add just a little bit more powdered sugar, just a smidgen more. Maybe another tablespoon. And really get it in there. Because like I said, you want a consistency where it sticks to those cinnamon rolls. You don't want it to run all off of it. Yep, that's going to be it. See how thick that is, but it's still drizzly. That's exactly what you need. Okay, so when you're building it for all of them, and this yielded 12 cinnamon rolls, you're going to, of course, use a bigger bowl, and of course make twice as much because this is for 2 cinnamon rolls. So I would say maybe a cup of powdered sugar. Start with a cup of powdered sugar, and then go to, a little bit of milk. A little more powdered sugar, a little bit of milk until you get it to that good consistency. Alrighty, I'll be back. The oven's preheated. We're going to go in the oven at 350 for about 20 minutes, I believe. And we're going to check them. These things are done, and this house is smelling amazing. I only cooked 2 of them. And if you don't have the pan full to kind of hold that in, you may want to pinch your tail around, because if you can see, mine kind of looks like they got a cat tail on them. But that'll be fine. We're just using these for an example. So let me pull these over here. Let me get me a spoon. And we're going to drizzle these babies. They're hot out of the oven. Got this delicious glaze here. We're going to pour over the top of it. And I like a whole bunch of glaze. I like to let it absorb it. That might be overkill. But girl, when it's Christmas time, it's Christmas time. Let's put one of these on a plate. Let's get one of these babies out and put it on a plate. Let me get my Christmas plate. I got a Christmas tree plate. And these cinnamon rolls right here is wanting to be 8. Let me tell you, and that glaze will go back solid. It's just this is a really, really hot pan. Let's get some of that glaze there. Probably should have glazed this on the plate. You can make that glaze thicker, thinner, however you want to. But girl, boy, whoever is out there watching, we just gonna take a bite of this. Let me get y'all up here. And this is what my family's having on Christmas morning. Delicious homemade cinnamon roll. Do y'all hear the angels singing? The angels are singing. I'm supposed to let everybody else have a taste. I don't think I'm going to. Oh, it's Christmas. I'll be nice and share. That is delicious. So tender. It's a little crispy on the outside. That brown sugar and butter that cooked out made like a glaze on the bottom, and you kind of got that little crunch of a toffee. Okay. So, we are done. We have made a delicious cinnamon roll. I'm going to leave all of the directions in the bottom. Not the directions, but the ingredients. So, if you make these ahead, if you make them tonight, you put them in the refrigerator, you need to take them out about an hour and a half to 2 hours ahead of time. Then you need to make sure that they have their second rise. Once they become room temperature, they'll begin to rise. Then you're going to put them in the oven. These took about, because it was only 2 of them, it took about 25 minutes. But if it's crowded, it's probably going to take about 30. I would make this a little thicker. But I ain't complaining about it running all over it. I lick that pan. All right. Just want to say, if you're watching today and you are alone, if you are in a hospital and you are sick, if you are down, if you are trying, know that I'm thinking about you. You can hit me on my email. You guys have a wonderful, blessed Christmas. And Grammy Nene will be back on Saturday with another video for you guys. Be blessed. Love you.